In each thing that you've done over the years, whether it's movies or whether it's UTV or with Upgrad today, you know, the one thing which leaps out is that you've got a risk taker's mindset. Would you say that's a fair assessment, that at heart you're a risk taker and you don't mind accepting failure if the risk does not pay off? Because it's something which a lot of Indian entrepreneurs are quite shy of. I mean, Indians are not really risk-prone people generally.
Yeah, you know, the word risk, it just sounds very maverick and it just sounds a little bit more brash. So I'd like to put that into context. I think you did put that into context by using the other word, which is failure. So if the question is, am I a risk taker because I'm not scared of failure? Yes, I think I'm a risk taker. Over a period of time, I think your gut improves and your ability to size up what risks you're taking are important. Risks are about batting outside the wicket. Risks are about taking that last plunge and working hard to make it happen. Risk is not when you every time bet your enterprise, bet your family, bet your company, bet this. So just to be clear, risk is not binary. Risk is to be viewed in a very different manner. It's a decision-making process that's more at risk than the financial risk. That's the outcome of it.
Do you see greater risk appetite among the new generation today, Ronnie? Because, you know, we've got a rash of unicorns which have been created over the last couple of years. And the kind of young entrepreneurs who are leading this, would you say that their mindset is quite different from the kind of entrepreneurs who are your peers who started the game maybe 30 years ago?
You know, that's a very good question, and I'd like to say it in two ways. First, I think, no, I took a lot more risks when I didn't have any resources, didn't have a bank to give me a loan or private equity or angel capital to come our way. That was a different kind of a risk taking because it's all in. You're all in, you don't have a choice, and then you stay all in. And that actually is very strong. Now cut to today, you're only reflecting risk with people who have got well funded, so to speak, or funded. But there's a lot of people who are actually all in. So to me, I break this up into the people who are all in are taking more risks than the people who just feel, oh, I got the money, I raised my money, so I can take more chances and risks. That's how I'd like to differentiate it, because that's when we really set the signal. I think that the message today for entrepreneurs is not about the 20 people who raised a certain amount of money, and that's a different story, but it's just how all in are you, you know? And there I would say, 30 years back, I was all in. What I'm doing today, I'm all in. Does everyone who's raised money from outside look at this? I think it's a mixed bag there, because it's about, okay, firstly, it's like, if I hadn't raised the money, I may not have even gotten into that business, which means you're not all in. The second one is, the conversation is about the next fundraise. And therefore, I question that ability, because of course that means you're into your business and you want to grow, but you're almost betting yourself on a binary outcome. And fundraising gives you this context that you think you can take higher risks, but if the outcomes are always binary, that if I don't raise the next round of funding, I'm shutting down, then I think you're a less risk taker and a foolish risk taker than many others who require a lot more credit for the risk they take.
So which of the two categories that you just outlined do you think the current crop of digital billionaires belong to? Do you question their ability to have sustainable business models in the absence of private equity capital? Do you think many of them are destined for failure?
If I had a gathering on a round table of the 30 or 40 alleged or nomenclature word of digital billionaires, I would say let's talk in 3 years, because the ground will shift. The ground will change substantially. Just because you raise money at a certain valuation does not necessarily mean that's sustainable. I think at least 60 to 70% of the people who've done that are going to have a big challenge as they go forward over the next 3 years to establish and justify those values. Don't forget, as a founder, you give almost what we call lick prep, right? A liquidation preference, which means that every stage when you pumped up the value, and pump I'm using as a loose word, but pumped up the value, if you can't justify that at the end game, you could land up being from even a 20% investor to being a 2% shareholder in your company. So I think that the ground is going to move a lot. So I would not shake hands and hug today's digital billionaires, so to speak, and say you're going to be around for the next 3 to 4 years or 5 years. I'd rather take that call 5 years from now.
You know, it's interesting to hear this, Ronnie, because
I know it sounds cryptic, but that's what I feel.